Yeah, he had some things act up on him, and so he's day-to-day. Yeah, he's going to be day-to-day. Still the same stuff, limited.
Was Randy limited by his shoulder or knee?
I mean, right now he's just limited, and he's fine. We expect him to be okay.
What kind of quarter advantage you see him return in the last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had a really good game. The last one, he really was able to get a good pass rush, and I think it's just, it's going to take time for any rookie to be able to pick it up and feel good about what he's trying to do with the new system. But we definitely have seen progress, and that's all we can ask for.
How surprised were you that Pete Carroll wants the fans to include the quarterback?
I kind of randomly heard that. I mean, I think in the end, for us, it's about just going to win a football game. We know it's going to be a hostile environment, no matter who the quarterback is out there. I think that just the entire organization, I know that they appreciate him, and they know all the games that he's won and all the things that he's done for that community and everybody, and we're proud to have him here at Denver. We're going to rally around him, and, I mean, either way, it's a hostile place, so we're excited for it.
Coach, what's the challenge of game planning week one when you don't have as much intel on stunts or looks that they may throw at you?
That's always the exciting thing. You go out there, you have a feel for what you think you're going to get, but you never really do know, especially in week one. With the new guy in there, and he's going to kind of put his little style on everything, so we have to be ready for anything and everything. That's just kind of part of it. So we have to trust what we're going to do. We have to trust our rules and our progressions.
What's your expectations for Montrell this season? He's been a guy that we've obviously known is going to contribute on special teams, but we see him in the offense too. What are just your expectations?
Yeah, I think for any expectation for any rookie, it's a process for them. Coming from one system to a new system, the adjustment to the speed, for any rookie, it is very difficult, especially in the environment that we're about to go into. So obviously, we always want them to be the best version of themselves, and so we're going to do everything we can to make it so he can contribute consistently.
As you've gotten a feel for both Javonte and Melvin, how would you describe their skill sets? Are they complementary? Can they both do sort of everything that you're looking for, and how does that?
Yeah, I think we're in a really good place with those two guys. I mean, you can even throw Boone in there, but both those guys can do so much. They can run inside, outside, gap schemes. They can catch the ball from the backfield. They can both protect, which is huge. So I think that having two guys like that, and then you throw Boone in there, his ability to run. We saw a couple good runs that he had the last game we played, and he did some great things out of the backfield, also catching the ball. So we have three good ones there, and we're excited to give them the ball.
Coach, what's unique about Seattle defensively? Speed on the edge. What's unique about that?
Yeah, I mean, they have 10 and 52, those two guys. They get after it. They have a young rookie there, too, that'll probably show up some. We're lucky because every day we go against some very fast guys also, guys that are good pass rushers and guys that can hold the point. And that's what this defense does. They do a great job getting those wide nines, making sure they're stressing you on the outside to stress the width of the pocket. And at the same time, they're really good at holding that stout point. So they're a good football team, good defense.
But Metcalf and Lockett, do you look at them in a vacuum, or do you look at them as it relates to them having a new quarterback?
I mean, those guys are dynamic players. I mean, they consistently have made plays down the field. The explosive plays that they show up just day in and day out, each week you can't deny that. Whoever's going to be throwing them the ball. And for those guys, I have so much respect for them, watching them, going against them. And we have to do our best to contain them. I mean, it's you can't necessarily say you want to shut them completely down because, they're really good players, veteran guys that have done it a lot. So we just want to be sure we try to limit those explosives as much as possible.
In your experience, how do coaches and players as well have to avoid overreacting either positively or negatively to what happens in week one?
That is not just for week one. That is every single game. I think that's kind of the special part of being a coach and being out there on the field with them to make sure that you're always keeping their demeanor the same. Whether something great happens, whether something bad happens, it's about staying steady the whole time. You can't get too excited. You can't get too upset because you got to go play another play. So the guys that are usually the best, in my experience, are the ones that can let that last play go. Whatever happens, happens. Let's move on to the next one, correct it, praise it maybe just for a little bit, but then, hey, you never know what's going to happen next. They're going to attack you one way or the other, or we'll attack them.
Especially in Green Bay last year, how much did you see that, and who was responsible for that, for not overreacting after that first loss to the Jags?
To the who?
To the Jaguars.
Oh, no, it was the Saints. You're talking about the Saints. We were at the Jaguars. Yes. I mean, in the end, you look at this whole league, and there's so many ups and downs. I mean, people, you're not gonna win every game. I think for us last year, it didn't go our way that first week. It was a bad deal versus the New Orleans Saints. But I think sometimes that's good. You rally the troops, and I think we went on a run there. I think we won a couple games in a row there. So, I mean, you just can't overreact for anything, during a long season. You have to be sure that you're able to correct and make those corrections, whether you win or lose. And I think that's what you're always trying to keep, that steady, that same approach, make sure everybody's doing the right thing at the right time.
Especially after not.
Without the preseason, just how are you going to get the guys to transition into the physicality that comes with the game? To start.
Yeah, at practice, we always want to preach that physicality. I don't think you can ever simulate anything until you get into a game. And again, it goes back to that risk reward. You look at just across the league, sometimes you don't have a great opener. Sometimes you do. I think in the end, those guys, they played a lot of football. We've got a lot of guys that have played football. So they know they're going to be able to be physical right away. And we have to be great at that. We have to challenge them for that. And there's going to be some ups and downs, but that's part of it.
What do you expect the workload split? What do you expect the workload split to look like in that running back room for week one?
You can't really say. I think, I've always been a true believer. You always kind of want to roll with the hot hand. One guy gets going, you want to be sure you keep feeding that person. But I think they're going to be great complements to each other. I think that, if both of them are hot, I mean, you got to keep feeding them. And it goes for that with the wide receivers too. If one guy gets going, you got to get him the ball. And as we're saying, if anybody gets hot, you have to continually feed them. So it's going to be different every game, I imagine.
What do you think of the game last night?
Yeah, it was, had it on in the background. It was wild. It was up and down, a lot of turnovers, things like that. And that's a little bit kind of September football. People are working the kinks out. And, I don't think anybody knew it was going to be kind of like that. But in the end, it's about rebounding for the Rams, and it's about still getting those corrections for the Bills.
Do you know what kinks you think you're going to have to work out?
I don't. That's the fun thing about this game. You never know what's going to happen. I've always learned, though, if you win, coach them really hard. And if you lose, get those corrections and make sure they're in the right mindset to be able to bounce back. And like we always say, it's all about trying to correct yourself and make sure you look at yourself first.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
All right,
Thanks,
y'all.
Coach.